everyone. I hope you are finding the coin of your dreams, because we certainly have some rare finds for you. That we have the most expert numismatist. I had to work on that in the country, we feel like. And so he's brought a wonderful collection for you. And look at this one. This is the 2017 EU70 SMint, US Mint, the 225th anniversary 10 coin set. It's on a price break for you of $279.95. Normally, this is $349. So you save $70 today. And you think the value is even more, right? Oh,
goodness, yes. I think it's actually far exceeds $349. I think I can make a pretty good case that this set should be selling for $600 or $700 or $800. And I'll tell you why I believe that. 2017 was the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint. The United States Mint decided to commemorate that in various ways. Sure. They did the 225th anniversary Liberty Gold coin that we saw. But one of the big things they did was this special 225th anniversary set. And what they did is they took all the circulating denominations from the United States government, even though they don't technically circulate the half dollar and the dollar, and they made it in a 225th anniversary edition, and they did it in enhanced uncirculated. Enhanced uncirculated is a specific way that the United States government makes coins. As a matter of fact, until recently, we didn't even have the technology to do an enhanced uncirculated. Because the way they do enhanced uncirculated is they literally finish the die that strikes the coins with a laser. And it's such a precision thing that they really couldn't even do this until about 5 years ago, when they did the very first enhanced uncirculated coin. As a matter of fact, the United States government has only made, prior to this set, about, I think it was 6 or 7 enhanced uncirculated coins in the history of the United States Mint. They had never done a complete set of enhanced uncirculated. It was only available in this special 10 coin set. The United States government made 225,000, which is actually for 150 million collectors is not that many. It sold out instantaneously almost from the United States Mint. They announced sellout on it within, I think it was about 10 minutes or so.
Oh, wow.
To be able to sell out.
So these are going to go quickly. Yes,
one would assume. So they went very fast. But then we took the set and certified it, so that every one of these coins is EU70 perfect. So you have to understand the certification alone in here is almost a $300 value. It's going to cost you the better part of $30 per coin just to have them certified. So when you look at the certification, you look at the rarity, you look at the exclusivity of the enhanced uncirculated, and you understand that basically at $27.99 a coin, it's an amazing opportunity. But I kind of want to go through it kind of coin by coin.
Sure.
And just to show you the rarity of this at an entirely different level. I want to focus right here just for 1 second. This is the Lincoln cent. And as you can see, the Lincoln cent is one of the most popularly collected denominations ever done by the United States Mint. It's been made for over 100 years. And there are many of the great American rarities that are Lincoln cents. The 1909 SVDB, even people that are not, or even kind of casual coin collectors know the 1909 SVDB. They know the 1922P. They know all of these famous 1931 S Lincoln cent, the famous years of the Lincoln cent. But in enhanced uncirculated, and this was made at the San Francisco Mint, all of these were, what you are looking at here is the rarest S-minted Lincoln cent ever done by the United States government.
Ever done?
Ever done. Since that 1909 SVDB, which that coin that I've talked to you about, this coin is rarer than the 1909 SVDB. This is the rarest S-minted Lincoln cent ever made by the United States government. It's also the only enhanced uncirculated Lincoln cent. I can make an argument based on that this coin should be selling for $199 to $299 by itself. And in fact, has oftentimes sold on its own for as much as $100 out there, individually, not in a set. What you don't see is sets of these. And the one thing that I can guarantee you is that in the marketplace today, a complete certified perfect set of enhanced uncirculated, whether it be NGC or PCGS or ANACS, the 3 major grading companies, you will not find one of those sets for $279.95. I doubt you can find one for $379 or even $479.95. So it is an incredible opportunity. So you've got the rarest S-minted Lincoln cent. You've got the only enhanced uncirculated Jefferson nickel. You've got the only enhanced uncirculated uncirculated dime that you're going to see right here, the Roosevelt dime. And rarity in both of those that is virtually unprecedented. So now you have a special design, which is going to be the enhanced uncirculated, so that finish is important to the collectability. Then you have the rarity of that as well, making this some of the rarest of each and every one of those denominations that are out there. If you go down to the bottom, the Kennedy half dollar that you see right here, they made another enhanced uncirculated Kennedy half dollar. We have it. It was made in the 2014 set for the 50th anniversary of the Kennedy half dollar. We sold for $99.95 all the time. This one, remember, at $27.99.95. Okay, the enhanced uncirculated Sacagawea golden dollar. Now they have a couple of those that have been made, but they can sell in EU70 for as much as $500 or $600 or $700, not $27.99. So that is when you're also talking about where each and every one of these coins, instead of $27.99, it was more legitimately $79, $89, $99 per coin, or even more.
This is an amazing value.
It's an amazing value. It's an amazing
consider
set.
that one coin could cost more than this entire set.
I think particularly the Lincoln cent. But the coup de grace, if you will, right here, is the National Parks quarters that are right there in the middle. Those are the only five. Those are the only five of the National Parks quarters that have ever been done in enhanced uncirculated. As a matter of fact, they're the only 5 Washington quarters that have ever been done in enhanced uncirculated. As a matter of fact, those are the 5 rarest Washington quarters ever made by the United States government.
And you're getting
right
5.
there, and you get 5 of them, the entire set for the year, because they were all done in enhanced uncirculated, folks. I would argue that that set by itself at $279.95 is quite the bargain.
That's
and of
impressive.
course,
very impressive.
When you get this, it comes in its custom presentation box that you see right here. Isn't that spectacular, the custom presentation box?
That's a wonderful presentation.
Isn't that beautiful? So you got the custom presentation box. It's angled for easy display. So what you get is a set of coins that was completely and totally sold out from the United States government last year. You are going to get it at a price break. At $349.95, I don't think there's anybody out there on the planet that could meet that price to start with. But we're going to take an additional $70 off that set as well to give you, I think, the opportunity, because it is the only enhanced uncirculated set done by the United States government, the only enhanced uncirculated Lincoln cent, the only enhanced uncirculated dimes, quarters, nickels, and of course then you have the Kennedy half dollar and the Sacagawea down there. Any one of these individually at $27.99 is an immediate and total sellout. So for you to be able to get the entire set, all 10 coins in the custom presentation box at $279, I think is a spectacular opportunity, a price nobody else can match out there.
And just remember, you're getting that certificate of authenticity. They're all specially packaged to preserve the coins. And just remember every single thing that he said, that you're getting the rarest of the rare with so